Hi everyone, I'm Miss Yount, a teacher on the Multicultural Literature team, and today I'm going to quickly review how to locate your outline, what the cite method is, and how we will be using this outline for our MCRP paper. So we've already started reviewing sources and finding reliable sources. Now we're ready to move on to our outline. So you'll want to go in under your modules and locate the outline, which is listed as day 929. It'll say Daily Multi-Lit, the outline review. And you'll see immediately that there are 1, 2, 3 documents that are associated with the outline review. And those are going to be necessary for you to review for the cite method, because that's really what we're going to be working on is the cite method. So the cite method is very similar to RACE, but it's actually more specific to research papers. So take a minute, and as you go through your lesson in Canvas, make sure to read each of those individually, each of those slides. Here are the specific outline instructions for you to review. So right here, this document contains instructions for what each aspect of your outline should contain. So as you can see, for example, we have the CIT acronym right here. The C stands for Cite the quote you submitted to the topic survey using the author's last name and page number. Then the I stands for Include an explanation of the quote that you've chosen. You can even include what you've submitted as your rewritten version of the definition of the topic survey. T stands for Tell. Tell the reader a bit more about your general thoughts on culture. 1 to 2 additional sentences. Introduce the specific culture you'll be researching and include your personal connection to this culture. And E stands for Explain. Which specific culture you'll be discussing in this paper, as well as the 3 aspects you've selected. So we're going to be using this CITE for each of the body paragraphs. Except for the first paragraph, you're going to be using this method to cite the first of the 3 aspects of the culture that you listed in your thesis statement. So for example, if your thesis statement includes your focus will be on food, music, and then the arts, you're going to use this first paragraph to focus on food. And then you'll include a quote from one of your 3 sources that pertains to the food. Then you'll tell the reader about this quote in your own words and explain why it's important. And then finally, you'll explain how this evidence connects back to your thesis statement and the culture in general. Now you're going to do that for each of the body paragraphs. For the second one, I think I used a music, so then you'll focus on the music of your specific culture. You'll include the quote from one of your 3 sources, putting that in quotation marks, and include a citation. And then you'll tell the reader about this quote in your own words and why it's important. And then finally, you'll explain how it connects back to your thesis statement. And then finally, if you chose art or whatever your 3 topics were, you're going to use that for your final body paragraph. And then we'll wrap it up for our conclusion using this cite method as well. So you're going to choose a way to reward your thesis statement. You're going to include 1 to 2 sentences recapping how and why the 3 aspects of your research are significant and important to your culture. You're going to tell the reader 1 important takeaway about your culture and in general, and then you'll also explain once more why this culture is significant to you. And then this is the conclusion, so we really want to make an impact, remember, on our final concluding paragraph. So I'm going to go back. That was the outline instructions document. This is the outline template. It's being in use, but I have already downloaded it here, so I have it luckily. So the Multicultural Research Project outline template, this is a blank template for you to actually use, type in, or copy it, download and print it off so that you can use this as your actual template for each of your introduction, your 3 body paragraphs, and then your conclusion. And then the other document that we had included for you to use is our outline template completed. This is a great resource to kind of view before you get started, so that you get a really nice feel for what we're looking for each of these, each of these in the different body paragraphs for the cite, using the cite method. So this is the topic, my African American culture. And just briefly, if for the example, for the introduction, there are so many different things that goes on in the African American culture that we don't know about. I know you're wondering then, what is African American culture? And then now they're using the I, so I'll tell you, the African American culture is a distinct and enormously influential, a distinct and enormously influential culture around the world as a whole. And then the T, when I researched, of course, this is informal. These are notes for you. This is a template to help you. When I researched to get more information about African American culture, I found out about dances, food, and traditions I didn't know about. There are 3 topics right there: dance, food, and traditions. And then finally, they're explaining, even though some of these dances, foods, and traditions are from so long ago, it still made its way to my generation. So this was just a brief overview of the outline review that you will be covering. So please reach out with any additional questions, and I'm sure your teachers will be happy to help you. Thanks a lot.